Good evening. There's a major political crisis brewing in Bihar. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is not seeing eye to eye with his ally, the BJP. He was due to attend a NITI Aayog meeting here in the capital over the weekend. He did not show up for that meeting, which was chaired by the Prime Minister. The local BJP in the state has been sniping at his heels. He fears that the BJP might do an Eknath Shinde type operation in Bihar using his longtime confidant turned enemy now, RCP Singh. So the big question is it just a matter of time before there is a breakup in Bihar? How will Nitish Kumar possibly justify going back to the RJD and the Congress after he dumped them in 2017?
It's an alliance that was always an uneasy one. But now, the JDU-BJP pact in Bihar could be at the point of no return. The divide deepened after Union Minister RCP Singh quit Nitish Kumar's JDU over the weekend, accusing his own party of corruption. Ahead of his resignation, Nitish Kumar had refused to extend Singh's term of his Rajya Sabha seat, which meant he had to resign as a union minister.
चुनाव में खिलाफ काम किया, सब लोग महिमा मंडित हो रहे। जो चुनाव लड़ा, मुख्यमंत्री का उम्मीदवार बन के घूमा, वो सब महिमा मंडित हो रहा। और हमको बता रहा कूट संपत्ति, हमारा संपत्ति तो मैं बता ही दिया। हमारा संपत्ति तो ये बता दे कहीं पर संपत्ति।
Then the JDU accused BJP of two conspiracies to weaken Nitish Kumar's government: the Chirag model and RCP Singh being a proxy for Amit Shah.
एक मॉडल इस्तेमाल किया गया था 2020 के विधानसभा के चुनाव में, चिराग मॉडल, और दूसरा चिराग मॉडल तैयार किया जा रहा था। लेकिन कभी अगर होगा आगे तब बताएंगे कि षड्यंत्र कहां-कहां हुआ और कैसे-कैसे हुआ। उन्होंने खुद से कहा है कि अमित शाह जी से उनकी बातचीत हुई। अमित शाह जी ने उनको कहा कि आप ही के नाम पर सहमति है। अरे भाई, भारतीय जनता पार्टी तय करेगा कि जदयू का कौन मंत्री होगा। तो अगर जदयू का मंत्री भारतीय जनता पार्टी तय कर रहा था तो ये तो मालूम है ना कि आप क्या कर रहे थे।
The same person is trying to create Chirag model too. Having said, I think you should stop using my name to target Bharatiya Janata Party. You should come out and open and target Bharatiya Janata Party and say that they are the one.
To register his protest, Nitish Kumar has skipped 4 key meetings called by the centre in a month, including Prime Minister's meeting with all chief ministers on Sunday. He claimed he was unwell, but was present at 2 government functions in Patna.
हर मीटिंग में मुख्यमंत्री जी शामिल हो ही यह भी कोई आवश्यक नहीं होता।
What's playing on Nitish Kumar's mind is whether BJP will go the Maharashtra way. Uddhav Thackeray's government fell after a rebellion which was meticulously planned and implemented by the BJP. To plan his next move, Nitish Kumar has called a meeting of his party's MLAs.
कल बैठक में क्या होती है मैं ये नहीं कह सकता हूँ। जरूर लगता है कुछ न कुछ भूचाल आएगा।
Waiting in the wings is the RJD. They are the single largest party in Bihar now. Nitish Kumar had teamed up with the RJD and Congress in 2013 when he broke away from the BJP the first time around. Nitish Kumar has also called Congress President Sonia Gandhi. The combined strength of JDU, RJD and the Congress is large enough to form the government. But will Nitish Kumar pull the plug on his alliance with the BJP again?
All right, there have been a series of meetings that Nitish Kumar has skipped in recent days, and that is giving rise to speculation about his possible pulling the plug on the NDA in Bihar. On the 17th of July, Nitish Kumar skipped a meeting called by the Home Minister in Rajasthan. This was of all chief ministers to discuss law and order issues. On the 22nd of July, Nitish Kumar skipped the dinner that was hosted for former President Ramnath Kovind. Remember, Ramnath Kovind used to be the governor of Bihar before he became president. This dinner was hosted by the Prime Minister. He skipped that. A couple of days after that, on the 25th of July, Nitish also skipped the President Draupadi Murmu's swearing in, despite the fact that all NDA chief ministers were there at that swearing in. On the 31st of July, Nitish Kumar skipped a BJP conclave that was hosted by both Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP Chief JP Nadda. Both of them were in Patna. There was no courtesy call between these individuals because Nitish Kumar had reportedly contracted COVID. And then over the weekend, which many are saying was the last straw, on the 7th of August, Nitish Kumar skipped a very crucial NITI Aayog meeting that was chaired by the Prime Minister here in New Delhi. So let's try and decode why Nitish Kumar is sending out these signals that all is not well in the NDA camp in Bihar. Number one, he is convinced that the BJP and the LJP, Chirag Paswan's party, was behind the JDU's poor showing in 2020. Remember, Nitish Kumar's party, despite being the ruling party, the senior alliance partner, ended up as the number 3 party in the 2020 elections. Second reason, he's upset that the BJP dominated the cabinet formation. Even though he was chief minister, the BJP got more representation in the cabinet, and of course, they got 2 deputy chief ministers to go with it as well. He also sees RCP Singh, his longtime confidant turned bete noir now, as part of the BJP's conspiracy to uproot the JDU. He fears RCP Singh may pull off an Eknath Shinde in Bihar. Number 4, he feels he has not got enough support from the BJP despite the famous double-engine ki sarkar. And finally, he believes law and order, of course, was one of his strong suits. He believes that Bihar of late is being projected as a terror haven. Remember what happened in Fulwari Sharif, etc., via these NIA raids. He feels that his own legacy, his own record is being questioned. Now, how do the numbers stack up? The numbers are very, very clearly with the BJP plus JDU, they clearly have gone past the halfway mark. If Nitish Kumar were to pull out, remember he's a number 3 party. He has fewer seats than the BJP. He has fewer seats than the RJD. In fact, RJD is the single largest party in the Bihar Assembly. He cannot possibly form a government without the support of the RJD, the Congress, the CPI-ML, and of course smaller parties. That is if Nitish Kumar decides to pull the plug. The question is, will he do that? And more importantly, how will he justify this, having walked out of this same Mahagathbandhan just in 2017, just about 5 years ago? Let me now go across